All right, guys, we are here. Scarlet and Great. This is our first time doing this post-game reaction stuff. We just watched Ohio State and Penn State. We're broadcasting, should be to Facebook and to Twitter live. Ohio State, Penn State post-game reaction. 13-point win for the Buckeyes. Would we have something like 20-some, 23 to 19? You know?
I want to say my score prediction before the game was 38-20.
What's 38-28?
That was pretty good on that one. It's pretty close on that one.
Yeah, it's 10-point win. Yeah, it ended up being a 13-point win. So it's 38-20.
Really close on these things. So I'm gonna.
They're hard to do.
Yeah.
So we had 25-38, I believe. So you predicted the Buckeyes score correctly. Overall, my initial thoughts on the game: Ohio State did the big stuff really well as far as just athletes and talent. The athletes and the talent just jumped off the screen at me, right? It was, oh my goodness, the quarterback is great. The wide receivers are great. The offensive line plays great. The defensive line looks great. The linebackers looked pretty athletic. Elite athleticism is not going to be a problem for this team. This team is as good as we thought this team was, right? It was the little stuff that was frustrating, right? Blitzer, not even a blitzer, a lineman rushing right in Justin Fields' face, doesn't see him. Shaun Wade, I live with the spectacular catches on him, but it looked like there were some effort issues maybe. Running Master Teague straight into a defensive front when we know it's coming, right? Little things, the linebackers completely getting sucked in. Probably being not told, that's probably a coaching thing, right? Not telling the linebackers to sit back in zone a little bit. Let's clog up the middle.
They're aggressive, though. That's the thing. They're overly aggressive.
Yeah, and that's why I wonder, were they not told, hey, let's stay back? It looks like they were told, attack upward. So
it worked for the most part.
When it worked, it really worked. When Penn State adjusted, they started moving the ball, but we kept scoring, so it's like we never had to adjust. I would have liked to seen some defensive adjustment. But athletically, it was clear.
A huge difference in the game.
Perfect game by the Buckeyes, or even not an A+ game, an A game by the Buckeyes. I think would have been a 24-point win. What do you think, Cory?
It was obvious we were the better team. Between Shaun Wade, I don't know what his deal was tonight. I mean, I will say this: I was watching Twitter. I wasn't on Twitter. I was watching a little bit, seeing people say he should be his lower corner. He's not made for this. Guys, why do I got to keep telling you this? It's one freaking game. It's his second game as an outside corner. Calm down. And
he forced the guy into two really tough catches.
Yeah.
If he's out of position and he forces him into two tough catches, then he's pretty daggone good out of position.
Well, it can't OBJ or Odell Beckham those catches. So
yeah,
like, calm down. I mean, and don't get me wrong, on the next drive when Wade was just letting him inside, I think he was waiting on his safety help, but at the same time, he did look lackadaisical on the tackle effort. I'm not totally saying it's justified, but I'm saying there's probably a little bit of miscommunication there between him and Hooker. Hooker, though, the safeties looked way better than they have. I got a lot more confidence in Proctor and Hooker going forward now.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, there's nothing here saying that Wade was perfect. I don't think he was egregious, and I don't think he's completely out of position, right? He played outside corner in high school, right? Yeah. Phenomenal. We recruited him as an outside corner. We kind of learned.
He had to learn to play inside corner. Actually.
Right, right. So I don't think he's out of position at all, and I think he's a really good player. I'm repping his jersey here. I think he's a really good player that had a few bad plays tonight. He may not be Jeffrey Okudah, but it doesn't mean he's out of position. I will say Cam Brown looked really good in relief of Sevyn Banks when Sevyn Banks looked like he was having some issues. And then it looks like Cam, he's holding at that Achilles area. I heard some rumors that
he popped the Achilles.
Yeah.
Not official, but it looked like it.
And those don't heal ultra quickly. Yeah.
Kevin Durant would attest to that.
Yeah. Drake too.
Who?
Drake.
The singer?
Yeah. Remember he's so upset when Kevin popped his Achilles?
No, because I don't pay attention to the Drake.
Terrible. Dude, he was right on the sideline. It's the Drake gif where he's going, oh, man,
Oh, he popped his Achilles on that? What are we talking about here?
Kevin Durant popping his Achilles.
Yeah.
And then Drake on the sideline going, oh, man, the camera's on.
Oh, he definitely wasn't upset about it.
Yeah. But anyways, yes, they don't heal really quickly. Back on track here.
That's what confused me. I was like, he's upset about he's a Toronto fan, upset about Durant.
Yeah, because
Achilles.
Yeah, pretending to be, or that's what it looks like. Yeah. Anyway, It was a big yeah.
Right.
I thought here's a controversial thing for you, and Cory was really going off on this. Pete Werner, maybe his best game as a Buckeye, or not Pete Werner, Tough Borland.
Oh yeah, Borland.
Yeah, Werner was fine. Werner was great.
I think Werner's usually fine.
Yeah, the last season, this season been much better. Tough Borland, was he super athletic? No, he's never going to be. Was he super strong? No, he's never going to be. Assignment wise,
he was good tonight,
and technique wise, I didn't really see any whiffs.
I saw his number on the ball often, and you never even if people say he's assignment sure, you don't see his number on the ball very often.
Mm-hmm.
But tonight,
it's solid. I mean, he didn't look elite athletically, but he looked like
he's never going.
Right. No mental lapses. One time he got athleted badly by Freiermuth. He should have not been on there.
Well, he also reacted late to the route, but the same.
Freiermuth's a better athlete.
Yeah, I mean, Freiermuth's going to be an NFL tight end. It is what it is. But Browning, by the way, to me was my. I mean, as much as I love Togiai and Garrett, Browning might be the defensive MVP because of the fact I thought he was really good. He was covering the wheel routes really well. He was covering Freiermuth really well. He even lined up outside really well. He just looked like the player we kind of thought he could be.
Yes.
Finally.
Oh, how many times was he split out wide in man coverage? And we're like, we're going to leave the first play.
Not even worried about
what about when they threw the fade on him one-on-one? And I was like, we don't have a D-back named number 5. Who's number 5 in the defensive back? You're like, Brown. Put him out there. And they kept trusting him out there.
And he also chased receivers down from behind.
Yeah.
Tonight. His athleticism showed, but he also had the instincts tonight.
That's what was missing with him, right?
Yeah,
look, you're the best athlete, and he is the Micah Parsons.
He's the best athlete on the field.
I think him and Micah Parsons probably best athletic linebackers in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
No reason why he shouldn't be an All-Pro.
Yeah.
But mentally, he looked like he was hitching throughout his career.
He wasn't thinking too much tonight. He was just acting, and it was a very apparent. I think this is his best game as a Buckeye. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a coach. But to me, he looked like he was assignment sure, and he was confident what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. I want to move to this.
I don't.
The defensive line looked like different human beings today.
No,
they didn't even look like the same. I had a theory that maybe
John Cooper all of a sudden.
Yeah, I had a theory that maybe they were asked to play contain against Nebraska because of the quick Luke McCaffrey, Mills, Martinez, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of us, but we know that Sean Clifford has wheels, and they just pinned their ears back and came after them.
They hit them hard.
They were really good tonight. Really, really good.
I have a different theory, though.
But I will let you say your theory after this.
Thank you, sir.
I will. John Cooper looks completely resurrected. He looks like Michigan John Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Cooper that shows
2018 Michigan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The guy that shows up for that game. I will say, and Haskell Garrett starting, when he came in the game last week, it was a different ball game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Him and Tommy Togiai.
Amazing.
Cory said this in the game. That might be the best tackle tandem in the country. And I'm like, I don't know enough about.
Probably because I don't know any other tandems, but they're really good.
If there's a tandem better, let me know because I don't know it. And I will say this: I think we have the same problem. We'll probably have now that Jalen Waddle broke his foot. I think we have the best tandem at wide receiver and defensive interior lineman in the country. But the problem is on both. The depth behind both of those is a sharp drop off.
Well, Jackson held his own a little bit. He was okay tonight.
Sure, yeah, but like
Cage even made a play, but you can't count on that game in and game out. So you're going to have to find a. You're going to have to. But you know what the good thing is, Johnny? Until Michigan State or maybe even Indiana, we don't have the strongest.
Not really
schedule.
challenged.
So you can get those other guys some reps.
Yeah. What was your theory about why they look so different?
I just think Larry found the starting 4. I mean, because he remember when Haskell not starting, obviously with his mouth, you probably didn't want to brush him back. I'll tell you, I had a little story here when I played Pee Wee football. don't worry, I'm gonna bring it to this. I remember the coach saying we were too young to do swim moves on the defensive line. He says there's no way they can do it. They're too young. And then I did it instinctively. I boom,
right.
And the coach was, they can do it. To me, that's what Haskell Garrett was. They didn't know what he could do because of his mouth. You get him in the game, he's tearing it up. You're like, all right, I got my starting 2 back, because I don't think he intended for Jackson to start anyway. He intended for Garrett to be the starter.
Right.
And now Garrett, I love this about Haskell Garrett. He's gone from what we thought was going to be a solid rotational player to he's a superstar in the making.
He didn't get many reps last year, and that's why I was telling Cory. I said, not often does a guy go from I don't get many reps to starter and dominant.
Yeah.
Usually, if you're going to be that good, Larry Johnson has no problem rotating.
They show it early.
They show it.
That good.
Yeah.
He never. I mean, I remember thinking he's a top 5 defensive tackle out of high school when we got him, and I thought, he came in. I was like, is this always going to be? He's going to be a solid rotational guy, kind of just Sean Cornell.
Mm-hmm.
No, now he looks all Big Ten. And he's just like, wow, this guy might be on the cusp of being an All-American the way he's playing.
I will say this too. I thought Devon Hamilton was a huge underrated,
and he's doing great.
Nose tackle. Yeah, he was a great nose tackle last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've hit a point. There's no drop off with Tommy Togiai.
Togiai's a beast. He is who we thought he was.
He is. And again, he wasn't getting a ton of reps, and all of a sudden he's dominant. Him and Haskell, and then Jean-Baptiste looks good. Tyreek Smith looks good. All these guys look as good as kind of we thought they could.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach Harrison is almost like an afterthought, not because he's not doing very well, it's just because the interior pressure is insane.
And the guys on the edge are stepping up. Tyreek Smith had a nice game. He got pressure quite often. He was almost there on a couple. He also got held a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper, obviously, we mentioned him. Baptiste is looking okay, solid. I mean, nothing special, but he's a good rotational player. Maybe he'll take that leap like Garrett next year. But Harrison, like you said, he even played well.
He's just kind of shadowed by everybody else.
They're all stepping up. It's a conglomerate of people stepping up. It's the axis of power, whatever you call it.
They're pretty gnarly. Real quick, do you think Blake Hybill is legit benched, or do you think maybe he was just sending a message to him?
I think he sent a message because Banks got benched when he on that one after that one drive where he just letting guys tear him up, and then and Brown came in and played well. And Brown, please get better. Speedy recovery for you. Prayers and thoughts. Hybill, I don't know if he got benched, but they were probably pretty upset he missed that because you got to count on those guys to make those chip shot field goals. And Hybel's been what frustrates me about this is now some of you guys out there might love that because you've been begging guys like Urban Meyer to bench people forever. Right. And I look at it and go, Hybel's been so automatic since last year. Let him miss one and get him back in. Don't kill his confidence right away. Because Mason Crosby for the Green Bay Packers, I go back to the Packers all the time as I'm a Packers fan, had a Detroit Lions game that was abysmal. He missed 5 field goals and an extra point. And Green Bay fans were ready to give up on him. He's done. And since that time, and that was like 4 years ago, he's only missed 6 kicks since that time.
Wow.
Because you showed confidence in him. To me, Hybel is like you just got to like pat on the back. Hey, you can't miss it. We got to be able to count on that. But I'm not going to move away from you right away. I almost don't even know if I agree with the move by Ryan Day. But he's paid $7.5 million a year. The coach's team. Nobody cares about my opinion. So
yeah, I'll offer this. I don't think short kicks were ever Hybel's thing. He's the big leg.
He's shaky on shorter kicks.
So maybe it was I didn't think you were very good at this. You showed me you weren't.
Yeah.
Insert this other guy for the short
and
kicks.
Then
he's not very good either.
Yeah. He's a walk on. You don't even expect it.
He looked nervous the whole time too. Man, help it. Man, if there would have been an actual crowd there, because he looked like you could tell the whole time he was like
wetting himself on the field.
Right. So moving forward, what I would like to see is, I think Sean Wade can fix it. Sean Wade was not
talk about the run game too.
Sean Wade was an athleticism problem. It may have been a communication issue. It may have been just like an effort issue. I don't know how good Banks is as a first-year starter. I think Cam Brown is very good. Mm-hmm. If we can't lean on Cam Brown as that third guy,
he's done,
then Williamson, again, that depth becomes an issue.
Yeah,
maybe not for the rest of our schedule, but
playoff
time, that is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see the kicking game addressed because that's 6 points on the field. That's huge, right?
Especially
with literally what we lost to Clemson.
Ranked opponent, if we get in the playoff against somebody like Clemson, you can't. We've seen this. You can't leave points on the field.
Cannot do that. So I'd like to see that, and I'd like to see a little depth develop on the defensive line. Cory wanted to bring up the run game.
The offensive line looked much better tonight. They weren't perfect. They looked much better. Some of the runs, Teague looked better than Sermon. I will concede that to people.
A little bit better tonight.
But I will say Sermon also looked better than what he did last week. And Teague, the offense just looked better, so it made Teague look a little better. And Teague still, look, if you get him go north, we said it all along. Go north and south, he's gold. He can be good. Got a couple nice long runs, a couple nice short yardage runs as well. Johnny, I do agree with you on this. last 3 possessions, they're just ramming them up the middle.
Yeah, look at Teague's. I would take about 6 carries off of his carries and then do his yards per carry on that. I don't have it in front of me. I bet he ended
23 for 110 was his final, but I mean, I don't.
So he's averaging around 5 yards a carry. I would take I would call it more like 17 for 100.
Yeah,
it's probably more accurate because we just rammed him, or maybe take 4 of them away.
Well, we're going to have to accept the fact we're not going to have an elite run game this year. Probably have a solid run game.
And with the throw game, you notice in the third quarter, it seemed, and late in the third quarter when we could have let off the gas, it seemed like Ryan Day said, no, I'm airing it out because that is the strength of this team. I'm going to – Teague gashed them on a big run play, and Ryan Day said, no, I'm going back to the throw because I can't count on those run games, but I can count on the throw game, and now they're thinking about the run game.
I'll say it right now. Fields is a different player than last year. He was great last year. He is light years better this year. He's carrying the offense right now. And I look, I get Alabama's depth at wide receiver, even with Waddle injury and everything. This is the best tandem in the country. I don't care what anybody says. Garrett Wilson. I love Olave. Don't get me wrong. And Olave had the more yards and more TDs, and Olave had a great game. To me, though, Wilson's just that steady. He's
when we had to use him. It seems
he's
like
the security blanket. Obviously, he is the best receiver in the Big Ten, as far as I'm concerned.
I think he's the best player in the world. I think he's the best player to ever play football. Said this on our
basketball. His first love is basketball. So he's the GOAT over MJ now at this point.
It's right. Look, I said this on a lot. For those of you who don't know our podcast, hope you check it out. Scarlet and Great podcast. Find us iTunes, Stitcher, anywhere you want it. You can see it. You can find it. But I said this on the last show. Garrett Wilson, this is not hyperbole, not sarcasm. Garrett Wilson is the greatest football player of all time. If Tom Brady wins an MVP or a Super Bowl or a Super Bowl MVP, maybe he jumps back into the discussion with Garrett Wilson.
I don't know.
Maybe.
No.
Garrett Wilson is obviously more accomplished at this point than Tom Brady. People, first-time viewers are like, huh? No, look, Garrett Wilson, I'm just going to call him the best football, not wide receiver, not player this year. I'm just going to call him the best football player of all time. He's the best running back in the Big Ten. He averages 62 yards a carry. He averages 62 yards a carry. He's the best football player of all time.
How great was that first play?
And I was telling you this. You know what that first play means? It means Ryan Day saw something on film. I guarantee you this. I can't guarantee. I'm not a football coach. I'm not an expert, but this is what I think it means. Try to be a student of the game. I know Ryan Day is super smart. I think Ryan Day saw something on how Penn State opens their formation, and he said, this is here. Because you don't call an end around on the first play unless you're Mike Leach or Cliff Kingsbury or something. You know what I mean? And we went for 62.
Well, can I go to full disclosure here? I was going back to Fields. Full disclosure to the audience. People who listen to our podcast, I love Justin Fields. Last year, I didn't see an NFL QB necessarily. Yet. I didn't say he didn't have potential.
Right.
But I saw a kid who was learning how to play the position, and he was and I thought they protected him quite a bit with max protections, long developing routes. Let him look. You don't have to make quick decisions, because that's a really mark of it, like a Brady or a Rodgers.
Yeah.
You make a great QB who can make really quick split-second decisions.
They didn't ask him to throw a ton.
Yeah, 19. I think it was like 19 passes a game.
At one point, yeah.
Now, granted, we were blowing everybody out, so there's no need for him to throw it all.
Right.
But now we're seeing games, even in this game, where we needed him to throw the ball a lot and convert some really hard third downs. And he did.
And he'd have to go through different reads, improvise a little, roll out, throw a little under pressure. They're adding more to his plate, and he's able to handle it.
That pass he made to Garrett Wilson, it was Olave, on third down and like 10 when he had somebody barreling down. Nick Petier for once got beat a little bit. And so, by the way, that guy's playing well. I didn't think the edge rushers were really a problem this game.
I thought we were going to hear Shakatoni and Owe a lot, and Brandon Smith a lot.
And really didn't. But he took a couple sacks, I think, on coverage sacks. But still, that being, and the interior still needs some work. Davis got beat badly on one. But that being said, that pass he made to Olave on third down, then third quarter, I think it was, where it looked like the arm got hit or something from behind, because Petier got beat a little bit.
A lot of pressure.
And he still put it right on the money. It's like, that was an NFL throw. I mean, it's like this guy's turning into I didn't think he was a top 5 pick last year. Now I see him as a top 5 pick. Because I'll be honest with you, this is full disclosure, I thought Lawrence was way ahead of him. Really.
Are you talking about the play where the receiver cut across the whole field and had to put it? That was Wilson.
It was a rainbow right to him. And
but you're right. I thought his arm got hit. He was right in his face. I kind of thought when he threw it, I thought he's kind of just hoping.
Yeah.
No, he threw it dart.
He was just hoping somebody to moss somebody.
Right. No, he looks great.
He's so on target all this time. Yeah. Only like a couple passes I can point out and be like, no, that was off. But
yeah, there was a touchdown to Wilson that he put a little too much on.
A little high.
There's a few.
There was 2 to Wilson that were a little high in the end zone.
Yeah. So I say overall, and you live with that because he does everything else well.
Yeah, it's like complaining about Shaq's free throws. It's like I live in Orlando, and I lived through that where people are like, well, he can't hit his free throws. He's averaging 35 and 20 a game, but okay, let's talk about his free throws. If Fields is going 27 to 33 for 300-something yards and 4 touchdowns, I'll live with a couple errant passes.
Yeah. No, I think, look, that goes back to the summary of this game. The big things are all great. The little things, you got to clean up a little bit. Yeah, and then we'll see how we move forward. We appreciate you guys. Stick around. First post-game reaction. We'll see you next time. Come listen to this show, and I will try to do more videos like this. Thanks, guys. Good night.